Oh my gosh, they finally released a boss strike. Look who just woke up. I think somebody at Z2, maybe the janitor, accidentally bumped into the button and turned this thing on, and Z2 was like, "Oh crap! Well, I guess we've got to run it now." I'm just kidding. Hopefully, they've got some spare time after messing with their other games, and now they're going to put a little attention on this one. So anyway, this is the mech tank, and I've sped it up just a little bit because the battle's kind of slow. But you can see that it's not really the ideal unit to come up against the Ancient Sentinel. If you just don't have anything else, well then yeah, this might be the guy. Uh, when it crits, you can get 60 to 80 with certain attacks on it, but you can do much better with the legendary sandworms or the mech troopers or uh, radio tech and pretty much uh, plasmas, and any other unit. So is it for bosses? Not necessarily one to bring out the battle here. So now that it does better when the armor is taken off of the Sentinel. Um, but earlier, if it's a lower rank, if you have it around 4 or 5, it's going to be much more difficult to fight Sentinel. At higher ranks, it'll do a little better. But there's so many units today that can kill the Sentinel, it's not even funny. It'd be nice to take this thing in there with the Kraken. Put it on a boat or something, let it attack. That's pretty cool. So anyway, I just finished finishing out this little battle here, and it's close to dead. I think I used some of these other. There we go. Here's that center attack. Did 91 damage without a crit after his armor is gone. This time 82 damage to the body. This time 159 with the crit, so that's nice. And look at there. My very first melee frag. Finally. Awesome. Can't complain there, right? This is the new mech tank, also known as the NT1 mechanical tank. The unit's pretty cool right off the start with the 3 attacks that it has. I like this pattern. And it also comes with this thing that's called Rocket Launcher Heavy Fire, but I don't really know why it's called Rocket Launcher because it shoots like piercing damage and bullets. So it almost is like they intended to do something different and then gave it and took away explosive damage and gave it piercing instead. I don't know. I don't know. The name just seems a little bit weird. Rocket launcher. I don't see any rockets going off on that attack. Just about got this thing ready to 8. Some folks have already got it to 9. I've been a little bit, I guess, a little bit lazy with ranking lately, with the uncertainty of Z2. My new little toy here, Melee Frag, now finally completed all the collection of boss drops, so I'm so excited about that. Just at rank 3 now, but still, I gotta use him to help rank him up. I've seen folks who can beat all the waves with just the legendary sandworms, so if you have 3 or more of these legendary sandworms, you can pretty much run the table on these guys. So I put these together, this formation together, just as a show. Um, so whatever. Um, This attack here, this first attack here, does most damage to the center unit and has a chance to do that special DOT damage, which is kind of nice. Um, Experimental damage, which pretty much will one-shot kill anything. It has a slight decrease in damage out to the side, doing less damage. Pretty decent. Let's see. Armor piercing's at 20% for this attack. So let's look at this attack first. I like how the mech walks out front. Crits. He got that experimental damage on him. Pretty almost wiped this unit out with one shot here. This is the second attack that we'll look at here is going to do 301 to 369 damage. Let's look at it. It's called the 120 millimeter cannon triple shot, which will hit 3 the whole column there. Explosive type damage, indirect, armor piercing 15%, offense 76, and base crit 35% chance. Doesn't have the chance to do that DOT damage. But this will get all the way to the back of the row and hit planes as well, while this first attack will not hit planes. Doing pretty decent damage as it goes. Alright, because I don't want to get hit by this guy, I'm going to go ahead and use this next attack here, which is going to be that odd attack, which is named oddly, Rocket Launcher, which does 86 to 143 times 3 damage piercing, crit 25% chance with 10% armor piercing. So anyway, this shot does fairly well. You're going to easily take out any soldier units, and units that don't have armor on it, it's going to do fairly well. It is a decent frontline unit with decent armor and resistance, and the reason it's better on the front row is because I could have hit all 3 of these if I had another one on the front row, which I don't here for this illustration. So let me just see if I can get rid of that guy. Now, don't want to get hit by either of these, so let's go ahead and just end this one. Okay, now we're back here. Didn't take very much damage from that, which is nice. Let's do this attack here again. Okay, so you pretty much see how well this unit does against boss strike units, which I'd say it's a pretty helpful unit during the for the boss strike. Also, I could see this unit coming in handy during PvP. I will say one thing about this attack here. If the unit is all the way to the far right or to the far left, then it doesn't hit the entire field, but it'll hit almost all of it. If it's all the way over here, it won't hit this row. If it's all the way on this side, it won't hit this last row over here. So that's the only difference with this attack. So if you have them on the front 3 rows, the front 3 spaces in the center, you can hit all these units. It doesn't. The line of attack. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The line of attack for this shot right here is direct. So that means it doesn't even shoot through soldier units. So it can be blocking, non-blocking unit. It doesn't matter. It's not going to go through most units. I have noticed that if there's a Chinook on the front row, it'll go through the Chinook and hit behind it. But soldiers and stuff, it won't. I'll show you. Let me just get to another level, and I'll kind of show you what I mean. See, with the legendary sandworm, it doesn't leave any much of a challenge at all. Pretty much clean up the boards easily. Okay, so you see this guy right here. He doesn't have any blocking, but see, it's not going to hit anything behind him, this attack. But I did notice that it goes to the Chinook, which is interesting. Okay, all right, guys. So, well, anyway, this is a must-have unit. You're going to want to get a couple of them. It'll also be a very nice unit to help out taking out legendary sandworms in PvP because of that experimental type damage with this first attack here. Also doing pretty decent damage against tanks and things like that. Will do well against plasmas and other stuff like that. So a nice unit, must-have unit for PvP and other things. Would like to know that the game's going to be around. If you're listening, Z2 King people, you know, just telling your customers that we're not abandoning the game is is something that will very much help the community. So if you are there and listening, you turned on the boss strike, which is great. But these were already pre-programmed things, so it wasn't like you had to put any effort into it. So all that we would ask is that you just post something saying, hey, we're still here, we haven't left, we're still making content for the game, and we have a future for it. And you know what? A lot of people won't. They'll be more likely to spend nanopods on buy nanopods and things like that. So just let your community know what's going on, please. If not, I guess we're just left to assume for ourselves. Don't do that to us. That's just evil. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a comment how you like this new mech tank. I think it's pretty cool.